So, Nathan, we
Yeah.
have, I guess you could say, a bit of a bombshell coming out today. What would you say?
Um, I would definitely say that this is going to be. It's going to leave a mark. Yeah. This is. It's going to be. It's an excellent interview. So I'm really excited for everybody to be able to hear this.
Yeah, I maybe for the folks playing along, here's a little bit. If no one has heard anything, Isaac Kappy is basically coming out and saying there are a whole bunch of pedophiles in Hollywood, and he's naming a few names out there. He has flat out said Steven Spielberg, Seth
Right, Seth
Green,
Green.
and yeah, it's out there big time. And he wanted to make very clear to everyone he's not asking for a dime to do so. He just did it.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that. Imagine that. So, all right, Nathan, what do you say we get him on here
Yeah.
and
Let's
then
get
we
Isaac.
talk about, right? Let's
Yeah.
do this.
There's a lot to talk about, so we might as well get right to it. Dive right in.
Okay, here we go.
For the people that have lived under a rock for the last week?
Well, today has been the day of just people coming at from all sides. There's attacks, there's slanders. There was a guy on the internet who accused me of being a cokehead, and to his credit, well, I called him out right away. I was like, "Do you want to do a drug test today?" And he didn't respond. I private messaged him. I'm like, "Look, dude, I don't know why you would say that about me. I don't do cocaine. I hate cocaine. I was like, look, I'm in this for one reason and one reason alone, and that is to protect children." And to his credit, he was like, he apologized and he said he'd be addressing it in his show, which was great. And then I don't know, I went on Twitter. I was like, look, I'm not a perfect human being. I've done a lot of dumb things. And I listed a bunch of dumb things that I've done because, I'm a human being. I'm flawed. I make mistakes, but I own up to my mistakes. And that's why I was so happy with the guy that, accused me of being a cokehead, because he owned up to his mistake and we settled it like men. And now we're allies.
Cool.
But
So-
yeah, that's the good part. There's a bunch of other stuff flying around. People are inserting themselves, and it's to be expected. I knew this coming in. I'm prepared for it. It's just it gets a little bit tiresome.
So basically, you come out to say, "Hey, wake up, everyone!
Yeah.
There's a massive pedophile problem, and it's starting right up at the top with Steven Spielberg."
Well, I went to Spielberg, because my supposed friends, I found out they were pedophiles and trafficking children, which was a big heartbreaker. And really, wow, it was a tough lesson about sociopathic behavior.
Yeah. And this was when,
So-
Isaac? When did this happen?
Well, when did what happen?
When your friends told you about their extracurricular
That
activities?
was last year. It was a whole ordeal. Started last March.
Last March?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So this is something you've known about for a while then, but just never,
Yeah.
just
and,
hadn't really kind of put the pieces all together and had that like moment
no,
of clarity or.
It started last March, and then I knew for sure last April, and it was kind of a game of how do I get out of this situation without making myself a soft target. So there's a lot of stuff involved. I'm not a spy. I'm an artist, but I did what it took to stay alive, and I'm here. So, and I'm glad because I'm telling the world how these people operate.
Mm-hmm. And what brought you to that? I wanted to ask. Like, if you've known for this amount of time, then like what was it that gave you that epiphany moment, that moment of clarity that
Yeah.
said,
Well, what
I got to
happened
tell the
is,
truth.
yeah, the day that Comic-Con started, like not even 2 weeks ago, James Gunn was getting out. He was getting called out for all the kids, like 10,000 pedophile jokes on the internet. And I watched it back and forth, and I was like, he's like, oh, they're just jokes. And that Saturday, something just hit me. It was the most intense feeling I've ever had in my life. And it told me I needed to go down to Comic-Con, and I needed to call these people out. Because I know these people. And I know they're friends, and I know what they're up to. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to call them out because they're pedophiles, and they won't do anything about it because they don't want to go to court with Discovery.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was just tired of I'm tired of the lies, man. Because once you see the behavior for what it is and why people are doing this, why so many on the, I guess what we would say is the left, are attacking just really basic common sense policies, I was like, this has gone on too long. I'm throwing my hat in the ring, and yeah, I'm here. And I was just like, I need to make a stand. I need to make a stand because the world needs to hear this stuff.
And I mean, okay, so as a stand, now like obviously people have already started to attack. People have already started to say crap about you, started calling you, a druggie or whatever. What do you think is going to happen at this point? I mean, you're saying bullshit. This is happening. These are the people. What are you prepared for? Because I'm not even 100% prepared for what Nathan and I are trying to do. What are you expecting?
You know what? I just want to get the word out. I want to let people know that our society is built up on a lot of lies in the mainstream media. They cover for pedophiles. Many people that run the mainstream media are pedophiles. Mark Thompson, who is the head of his CEO, or his CEO of the New York Times Company, he ran the BBC for years while Jimmy Savile raped and murdered literally hundreds of children over decades and decades. And then this guy goes to run the New York Times, and people are listening to the New York Times as if they have anything valid to say. And I just wanted to really distill what is going on because people are confused. There's people that have literally been worked up into a frenzy to violently attack people on the street because of the hat they wear. And I can't take it anymore. I'm tired of this stuff. I know what's going on. These people are scared. They don't want to be exposed. They know that stuff is coming. And the public deserves to know.
And I'm trying to now. This is just me playing devil's advocate because I fully believe from all the things that I've heard, people I've talked to, without a doubt, Hollywood, media, government, there are a lot of people that are hiding up a lot of awful, awful stuff concerning child trafficking, pedophilia, child abuse, rape, everything like that. Is there anything specific that that you wanted to go on record as saying that absolutely happened, like this person did this to this person, or at least this person did this to a child?
Well, I have gone on record, and I will again. Seth Green is a pedophile.
Okay, you're not pulling any punches there. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you recap your conversation with Seth Green? Is this the conversation you're talking about?
I feel like I've just been having this literal same conversation for days.
And you will trust me. I've been having it for 20 years.
I'm getting fatigued with it, if I'm honest. Did you guys read the accounts on HM on the QAnon board?
Someone sent that to me.
I don't. What is it now? HM.
On the QAnon board on HM. It's just basically a very detailed account of what happened.
Okay.
But whatever. I've been telling the story. Let's tell it again. So in March of last year, I went to a party at Seth's Malibu house. And there's a bunch of people. We just played games, and there's some drinking involved. Nothing crazy. But at the end of the night, everybody left except for Seth, his brother-in-law, and me. And we were kind of like making our way towards the exit. And Seth pulled back a secret bookcase in the bottom floor. And he said to me, "This is where we keep the children." And at the time, I kind of just, I didn't want to really, I was in total denial. I didn't really want to, kind of address it. I was putting it out of my mind, like, oh, okay, that maybe he's just joking about that. That was, that was nothing. And then over the course of the next month, we were hanging out. These people were my really good friends. I loved them. I adored them. They came to my birthday party last year. I loved them. But in April, I was over there one day, and we were eating dinner, just the three of us, and Seth turned to me, and he said, "We need to have a talk about chicken." And that is when he said that, like, I was like, oh my God, this is real. This is real. He then told me that he's into children, and I asked them if they did sacrifices and rituals, and he said they didn't. But again, they were already lying about so much, so maybe they were lying about that too. I don't know. Shortly after, so basically at that dinner, like, I was shell shocked, and I was like, oh, I don't know what to do. This is crazy. And shortly after, I got a group text. By the way, all the dates and stuff, and there's text documentation. This stuff is all on, there's an HM link on my Twitter. So you can, if you want to get really precise with everything, there's dates, there's links, there's text, there's pictures, etc. Okay. So a couple days later, I got a group text from Seth, and it was addressed to me and Claire. And there was a link. He sent a link to an Entertainment Weekly article. And the article, there was a picture of Macaulay Culkin and Paris Jackson over at Seth and Claire's house. And in the background was a piece of my artwork. So, the implication was like, hey, we got this photo placed for you. I was like, okay. And then this is where it really started to get even weirder, because in the comment section was a link from, they were done on Facebook comments, and there was a link to the Illuminati, the Facebook official Illuminati. And by the way, those have since been scrubbed, but nothing ever disappears digital. It's all there somewhere. But anyways, the link said, it had a bunch of stuff that was like very pertinent to my exact situation. The thing that stuck out most was like, it was something like, join us, we will give you $250,000, a car of your choice, and you can live anywhere in the world. And I was like, okay. And there was another one that was like, it doesn't matter your age or, I'm paraphrasing here, but it doesn't matter your age or your station, you can always make your dreams come true. So I was like, this is a little bit weird. This is definitely weird. And it gets even weirder. The next day, they had a party at their house, and there's this man named Dan Ferguson who started striking up a conversation with me about cars. And he was like, I love the new Teslas. And I love the Teslas. They're great. And what do you drive? And I was like, I drive a Ferrari. Just kind of being cheeky and fun. And he's like, actually, you drive a Hyundai Elantra. And I was like, okay, this guy he knows the car I drive. He is bringing up cars right after I saw the thing about the car yesterday. There's no way this could be a coincidence. And he also mentioned that he likes to spend entire weekends without his phone. So I was like, oh, I think he's trying to get me to go have a conversation with him in private without our phones. But I just kind of played dumb and went along with it. The rest of that party kind of, was nothing of incident. And then in May, there was another party at Paris's house, and Claire was like, hey, you're going to Paris's, right? You're going to Paris's. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to Paris's. Yeah, I'll go to the party. Because keep in mind, like, I'm playing along here. I don't know what to do. I don't know who to talk to. But I'm just trying to, blend in and not, do something stupid. So I go to the party at Paris's, and at one point, this man, woman, and a boy show up, and they asked for Seth. And Seth was in Thailand at the time, so I said, Seth's in Thailand. I lost track of them, but I was like, why are they bringing this boy to the party? And that's when I was like, this is just so much. I don't know what to do.
I want to. So hold on. Let me. Not really devil's advocate, but
No, sure. Pick me apart, man. Please.
And the only reason I want to pick this apart is because I know that there are going to be 1,000 comments of, what basis is this? This guy's got an axe to grind. He's trying to jump on the bed. Anything that you're thinking about. Now, I already heard you make the comment that your proof is, hey, sue me. You know what? I'm saying this stuff. Take me to court. Sue me. Sue the crap out of me. Right. Bring it on. If I'm lying, have at me. Like, see if I back down. I mean, all right, so yeah, this isn't an attack. Like, anything I say, like, devil's advocate or whatnot, is going to be, just, like, getting you more credibility. All right, because I'm with you. I'm hearing what you're saying. I'm sure Nathan is hearing what you're saying.
Absolutely.
So to be clear, you don't have an axe to grind. You're not pissed at Seth. You're not pissed at Steven Spielberg. Like, there's no axe to grind that's going to come out like, oh, this was all Isaac being pissed off because he didn't get such and such movie, or he didn't get cast.
You know what? To be honest, I am pissed off, but it's not about acting. I don't care about acting anymore. And I have never been one to seek out publicity. There's a lot of stories that I have, a lot of celebrities. I've never leaked them. Okay, I don't care about that stuff. I just feel so strongly about this that I felt I had to come out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fair enough. I mean, Nathan's story as well. It was just it got to right, Nathan. It just got to a point
Absolutely.
Where enough's enough.
Well, I've always kind of shunned the spotlight in many regards because I'd like to have my privacy to some degree. I don't feel like I want people digging through my garbage or what. I mean that's an extreme, but really, I have not sought out any attention. I've never gone and looked into like, oh, well, hey, can I get an interview with you, or can I get an interview? Will you interview me? Like, I've never done that. If I've done interviews, it's because somebody's come to me and asked me to do an interview. And again, like you said, Isaac, I've been telling the story about my abuse as a child and what happened. I can't even count how many times over the last 30 years since he was arrested, and it's just something that you just have to get used to telling the same story. And because what that also does, you got to understand, is when your story doesn't waver, it shows a lot of truth to what you're saying. Because a lot of times when people are, full of BS and everything, like, their stories will totally waver, and they won't, remember what they told in this interview when they're talking in this interview, kind of thing. So, but again, I this is not something that I sought out. The only time that I've ever done anything like this was when, after 8 years, he was given the money by Caravan, subsidiary of Disney, to make powder. And I literally got a call from my auntie, who told me, I was just watching TV and I saw this trailer for a movie that I wanted to see. And so at the end, I watched for the credits, see who wrote and directed it. And I'm sorry, Nathan, it was Victor. Victor has this movie Powder coming out. And so I'm like kind of sitting there, I'm at work and I'm like tripping. Like, what am I going to do? I can't just like let this just be, if he's working around children and has access to children, then I have to say something. Like, and just as I had made the decision that I was going to like go look for a local news station, Fox News or somebody, see if somebody wanted to run a story on this, I got a call from somebody at the Associated Press, and boom, it blew up. Like, blew up. And so that's when I started it. And again, since then, we're talking 22 years since Powder was released. I have not said peep, because I have not heard about him making films for children, because Powder's target audience originally was boys 12 to 17. I haven't heard about him working around children. So I haven't said anything. I've focused on my life. I've had a family, and I'm living life. And it wasn't until Jeepers Creepers 3 when I got a call from Look to the Sky Films up in Canada, because that's where they were trying to film the movie, so they had a lot more leeway, so he could actually be around kids without raising eyebrows, which is probably all that would happen down here anyway, because they just, protect each other and slap each other on the wrist as like a little joke for the media, the public. But, they were terrified. They offered me all sorts of money. They did all sorts of, and then opted anyway to not pick up Jeepers Creepers 3 because I was too big of a liability, too big of a risk, and I wasn't going to accept any of their money to sell out victims or, at all. I won't sell out, which is what has had Hollywood running scared from me for years. Hollywood's been afraid of me because of what I did to Powder, and because they can't buy me. So, it's just something that, again, it's a calling. It's something that you feel like you have to do, because not enough people are willing to take that risk and to not be afraid of their mob mentality.
You cannot deny it when it's a calling. It's something that you must do, and that's my story too, man. I had to do it.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad.
Now, Isaac, to validate you, to make you as believable as possible, because I truly want to believe stories, especially like guys like you that have seen or been part of this bullshit cover-up conglomerate, massively powerful situation that seems to just have a stranglehold on everyone. So I want to bring as little doubt to people as possible, or at least clear up as little doubt.
Hey, you know what? Sorry to interrupt, but I want you to be as vigorous as possible. I welcome that.
All right. Well, let me throw it right at you. As far as what would you say to any people saying, for instance, well, where's the evidence? Where is a screenshot? Where is a DM? Where is a text message? Where is a photo? Anything like that. Let's start with that.
Okay. Well, first off, let's assume that you were running one of these things, okay, or involved. Would you send a text to say, like, hey, this is what I'm doing? No, you wouldn't, because that's highly incriminating. They rely on secrecy, and they rely on coded language, like with the chicken. They rely on it's evasive. It's look. I'm
Like
sure you are
like the
well
Entertainment Weekly clip or whatever you're talking about, right?
right. Like it's not like he was going to be like, join the Illuminati, and I'll give you money. You know. So there's this whole roundabout thing. But I would like to look. Here's the scoreboard. Okay. They have a house that has a secret room. Okay, that is like send the police there. Great, go have a look at that. That is a fact. At that house, the top floor had tons of stuffed animals and kids' toys. Okay, that is a fact. They use pedophile language, code language, and pedophile symbols. Claire had a jacket, a black leather jacket, and on the back was a heart within a heart. That is okay. Like it's so much stuff together. Oh, and also Claire's brother, well, transgender sister, who was a biological male, was a child prostitute when he was a minor, and she told me this stuff. So there's all this stuff. It's like, you know, like if you're expecting me to have pictures, you know, why I would never have pictures because if I saw someone harming a child, I would probably be on some sort of manslaughter charge right now because I cannot think of anything more abhorrent than that.
And can I just throw in too, just real quick, that they've been successfully doing this and everything, you know, trafficking children and pedophile rings and all of that shit for several decades, like time out of mind almost. And literally, I'm the only one that's gotten a conviction other than the girl with Roman Polanski. And even she, at some point, came forward and said, I forgive him. It's water under the bridge. Leave him alone, right? So they somehow gotten her to, she's been broken, is how I see it. And so if in all this time, there's literally only one person that's actually got a hard evidence of this man being a pedophile, him being protected by Hollywood, I would say it'd be very, very, very difficult for Isaac to produce something like that.
Yeah, like, and this is one of the things I wavered on for so long. I was like, well, I don't have any super, like, I don't have a smoking gun. Okay, I have tons of circumstantial stuff, but I don't have a picture. I don't have a video. And I was like, well, what do I say? You know, like I know what's going on. You know, what? By the way, one of their associates, Matt Cohen, brought toys like a Cabbage Patch Kid to Paris's party, and I remember people were like, "When is this? Why is this? It's a housewarming party." They're like, "Why? What is this?" Like nobody understood it, and I was like, "Oh man." Oh boy. So look, I had mountains. I mean, he told me, okay, like straight up. Did I record the conversation? No, because I wasn't planning on, you know, like it's not like I set out to like be like I'm gonna bust pedophile, because you know, I didn't want to believe it. I was in denial. B, once I did know it, I was extremely emotionally consistent. It was very difficult because these were people that I trusted. These were people I spent time with, and I didn't know how to process it. I felt so alone. I reached out to a few people and shared with them, like, yo, this is going on. I do not know what to do. And everybody, once I told them that, it was like, boom, they were like, oh, I do not want to mess with this at all. They were scared. They're like, I don't want to touch that. So, you know, I told a few people, and I was like, this sucks. I have literally no one to talk about with this. I don't trust the local PD because I'm sure, as you guys are well aware, local PDs cover this stuff up. They're in on it a lot of the time. So I really didn't know where to turn. It was awful. It was awful. And it was eating me apart. It was literally eating me apart. I guess I should say tearing me apart. I'm inventing new phrases.
All right, so Isaac, here's another little. Oh, yeah, I definitely. By the way, yes, I definitely get that. Not everything that people expose is going to be so vivid and so transparent that there's going to be like a dossier or a pamphlet like, oh, by the way, here's all the stuff that's going on, and here's an entire booklet of proof. Like,
Right.
here you
Yeah,
go.
exactly.
Right.
I get that part of it. But let me throw some more stuff at you. Let's just be thorough, like you said.
Sure.
But like, yeah. Um, you don't seem to be at all nervous, scared. It's almost like very aloof. That, oh, by the way, yeah, these people, yep, no problem. How do you explain that, it's almost like a walk in the park to just spit this out?
Well, because look, I know what I know, and they don't want discovery. There's no Fifth Amendment in a civil trial. They don't want it, so that's why I'm so blasé about it. That's why I called out Spielberg. Like, whatever, Steven Spielberg's a pedophile because it's an open secret that he is. And Heather O'Rourke was killed by some of his buddies. This is not, everyone knows there's pedophile rings in Hollywood. It's not even up for discussion. I think what people would be surprised at is how many people are involved.
Huh.
And I think that's growing every damn day. I mean, it just seems like in this last year alone, look at how many people get thrown into things.
Oh yeah.
This is, yeah. Let me throw something else at you. So, some people are claiming, you know what? He's not saying anything that we haven't heard. Like there's, we've heard these rumors before. We've heard these, Seth rumors. We've heard these Spielberg rumors. How about that?
Have there been Seth rumors before?
Not that I'm aware of, but then
No,
again,
not that I was aware of either.
I never, you know what? Spielberg's been tossed around a little bit. There's been some innuendo. Been
Yeah.
Seth Green.
Seth.
Yeah, the Seth thing, I haven't really, I've got to be honest with you, I haven't really heard anything like that.
No, it hasn't, yeah, it was total secret.
Okay. So let me throw this out, this as well. Now, you mentioned you could care less about acting right now, whatever.
Yeah, I don't care. Every script I got, I was like, it's all garbage. I literally have not been interested. I don't care.
So this has nothing to do with, if I throw it at you, is this your way of, hey, I need work, or I want work, or I want to cash in on some things that have been passed around? What do you say to that?
That would be a very weird way to get work.
sorry.
This is just me.
Yeah.
There's there's so much good that's come out of this since then. I've really been able to connect with a lot of people, and a lot of people have been like, oh wow, like he's really talking a lot of sense. They're waking up. But as far as like, guys, I'm getting hammered for this. Okay, it's not been a walk in the park. Like, oh, that's it's not like today actually was really hard. I'm not gonna lie. Today I got hit with a bunch of stuff, and I'm like, oh man, it's just from all angles. And not only is it from the protectors of the pedophiles, not only is it from them, it's also from people that you would think are allies, but people are so conditioned to watch out for controlled opposition, for limited hangouts, for, I've been accused of, a million ridiculous things. Working with the Mossad, all types of things. So it's like, and this is from people that are supposed allies. But I've been really clear about my message. My message is, I want to live in a world where children are not raped and or murdered. It's really simple, And I've also come out, I said, guys, look, I'm not a perfect person. I've done a lot of stupid stuff. I'll be the first to admit it. Today, I listed off a ton of stuff about me that I've done. Okay, so it's like, look, I know I'm not perfect, but I'm someone. I felt the call, and I felt I had to speak out on it. You know, so that's what it is, man.
Hmm. I can
Yeah.
totally,
Well,
I can totally, confirm that part of it. Like sincerely, the whole being called out and any kind of bullshit they can throw at you. Like for instance, when I was doing powder, again, it was like 40% ratio of people that were out there, catcalling and heckling me when I'm out in front of the theater. In front of the entire world, like, bearing my soul and talking about what this man did to me from 6 to 12. And they're saying, oh, you're just doing this because you're not, in his movies anymore, or you want money, or you want this, or you want that. And in truth, it has done nothing but cost me emotionally,
Oh
financially.
yeah, like
Like it has taken a serious toll on me to come forward and to share this information with people. And
yeah,
again, so I can totally relate to that, Isaac.
yeah, and the thing is, like, people are conditioned. They're conditioned to not pay these allegations the merit that they're due. They're conditioned to ignore it because this is not fun stuff to think about. People don't want to think about it. Even people that are good-hearted, they go into denial mode. I went into denial mode.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was trying to ignore all the time. So I get it, but it's just like we need to face this head on. And in your case, I can't even imagine because you had, I'm sure that like there was a highly paid contingent of people just slamming you, and it
Yeah.
sucks because you were abused for years.
Yeah. The best thing that I could do was to continue to maintain only the truth, because when you have truth and light as your allies, you are virtually untouchable.
That's right.
They cannot touch you when truth is your ally. Because you know what, as we're now starting to discover with the current events in this world and how they've progressed and graduated, that you can only keep up a facade for so long before you can't handle it anymore and the truth starts coming out in the wash. So I think that's what the world is experiencing right now, is that we're starting to see through their cleverly designed bullshit. And people, for one thing, because I mean, I literally had to like think and analyze, like, why is it that my story is so special? Why is it that 30 years after the fact of this man abusing me and being arrested and being released and then coddled by Hollywood, why are they still talking about me 30 years later and so hungry for my story? Because it's the truth. Because I have proof.
Yeah.
I can show people, and people don't like to be force-fed bullshit. And they're starting to get the feeling, they're starting to get the taste in their mouth of bullshit. And they're going, wait a second here. Wait a second. And they're ready. They're ready. And I tell you what, these people out there that are involved in all this shit, they're probably scared pretty good right now, because they see it's the one link that's going to collapse the entire thing.
Oh yeah, and it's already happening.
It is.
They're scrambling. They see the writing on the wall. One thing I want to add, okay, we'll talk about when you have the truth on your side. I think the reason my message has resonated is because I'm doing these Periscope streams. People can see me, all right? They can feel me. They can see me. They can see the emotions, and they know that I'm not lying.
I agree with that. I saw that
I
saw that.
They've connected, and you know what? People have been having so many cathartic just releases over this. It's absolutely beautiful. I've been getting messages. I got a message. I screen capped it and I put it on my Twitter. But this person was like, I have healed more in the last week than I have through 20 years of therapy. And he was like, I'm glad you brought up the gaslighting, because I feel like the psychologists and psychiatrists are gaslighting me too. So it's been so powerful and beautiful, and a lot of people are getting healing from this, and really, they're just like they're They're feeling brave to confront it. And I feel so proud that I could be a part of that, you know? I feel so proud. It's beautiful. And, you know, besides the attacks on me, that's like, I knew this was going to come, but I feel like I've been able to facilitate a lot of beautiful things for people.
And truthfully, that makes it all worthwhile. Like the fact that you can know in your heart of hearts that you, by telling the truth, you have helped someone to find that healing. You've helped to it wake someone's mind up and open their eyes, take the wool from their eyes, is so worth it. It makes all the risk, it makes all the turmoil and the emotional shit that comes with this job worth it to know that you're helping somebody out there. For me, that's what has always kept me going.
Yeah, and I said, I am willing to die on this hill. I believe so strongly in this. Like, do you, to the people involved, to the liars, the deceivers, the rapists, the child rapists. I said, I'm willing to die on this hill. And that's why I went down to Comic-Con. I'm like, hey, I'm here in San Diego. I'm making these massive allegations. If you have, if you'd like to disagree with them to my face, please come. Here's where I'm at. You know what I mean? I was very public with it. Like, let's do this in a public forum. And there's been no response. No one has reached out. Seth hasn't reached out. Claire hasn't reached out. They have deleted or gone private on their Instagrams, their Twitters. Okay. I'm sure they'll spin it like, oh, we're just like positions because that's what liars do. But like, look at the facts. They're hiding stuff. I mean, all those pictures are archived. There's some very dark stuff on that, and it's thematic. It's stuff that occurs constantly with these groups. All right, there's so much wealth of circumstantial evidence. And they've not denied it. They haven't had a lawyer draft up any documents. So who's telling the truth? And look at this. Twitter is suppressing me. They are deleting people's accounts literally while I am DMing them. Google is suppressing searches. I have a team of back-end people looking at the analytics. They don't want this message getting out. And it's very clear what's going on. And if someone would just like think rationally for, I don't know, a minute, like it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's exactly what's going on.
Okay. We still there, by the way? You got quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I just was at the end of my sentence. I just feel like I keep talking and talking and talking and talking. So
That's right.
Now for the minute that got for the minute that got dead quiet, I'm like, oh crap! Right toward the end. Well, Isaac. Basically, what I tried to do before this was not listen to the interviews, not go making any preconceived, notions about this or have any preconceptions, because I don't want everybody to come on, on our show or our channel or whatnot and say, oh yeah, like this happened. Oh, and this happened too. Oh, and by the way, the Earth is flat. And by the way, we never went to the moon. And da. So I was like, okay, I think since everybody and their brother, I'm hoping everybody and the brother has been hearing the stories, have been hearing the things, are saying, all right, whatever. But is anybody gonna like vet him at all? Is anybody gonna really be, on him to say, really? But what about this? What about this? So that's kind of where I wanted to take it. And I mean, I'm Nathan. Maybe I'm speaking for you on this, but I'm pretty convinced that Isaac, I'm thinking you're pretty genuine with what you're saying. I think you're totally for sure believing
I'm right there.
every damn thing you're saying.
I am genuine. Otherwise, like, look, if I was just out for self-aggrandizement or press or whatever, this would be a really stupid way to do it. This is just like walking into a that you can possibly imagine.
Yeah, I was going to say pit of vipers.
Yeah, vipers. Vipers. So, you know, it is what it is. Like I said, I woke up today to a ton of stuff, and then it fired me up, and then I took care of it, and then it was just more allegations against me, more just like attack the messenger. So, if I'm honest right now, I'm feeling a little bit down. You know, it's not easy. I knew going in it wasn't going to be easy, and that's fine. But yeah, I have my moments where I get low, and yeah.
Well, I just want to say that, that comes with the territory. There's always, Isaac, there will always be an opposition. There will always be people out there that want to discredit you, that want to call you this, that, and the other thing, and try to make you out to be something that you're not. And the more that you can let that be like water on a duck's back, it just falls off, beads and falls right off, the easier it'll get as far as not allowing that to affect your daily life. Like, because I know what that feels like. I know what it's like to be, to be wrongfully accused of having bad intentions or selfish, self-serving intentions when you are, in truth, being selfless. And you can't pay that any kind of mind. You can't give them any kind of energy like that. In your day-to-day life, it's a matter of just knowing that what you're doing is righteous. And for anybody that wants to try to stand to that, let them fucking come. Bring it on. That's how my attitude has been. Bring it on. Because I got the truth.
Yeah.
What do you got? What do you got? You got a bunch of made-up bullshit lies.
Yep. That's the mallet. I felt mostly fearless. I mean, I still feel fearless. I just it's just like, blame me. I'm like, oh my God, this is the reality of like all the volume of attacks. Like, it affects me. I'm sure I will have a nice sleep and wake up recharged and ready to fight again, just like I did today. So I'm not too concerned about it.
I mean, we are human after all, susceptible to
but,
that. So.
I just, I like to be honest. I'm not going to be like, I feel great right now, but, it's hard. I'm not going to lie.
Well, that's commendable, too. I got to say, that's commendable.
It's always, trust us, it's going to be crappy from here on in.
Yeah.
But it will get better.
But what gets better is the fact that we can build these kind of alliances with each other and know that, like, what, Isaac, you got me and Bobby now. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm speaking for you here, Bobby, but I felt like compelled that it's okay because you did it for me already, too. So,
absolutely.
But you got us in your corner, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're not going to let this shit fly either. So know that if you need to talk to somebody, you've got two bros right here.
Thank you so much. There are a lot of people who are willing to take this on, and they will throw their bodies in this. They will throw everything at it, and that's huge. Because I would imagine that when you came out with your stuff, the cultural landscape was much different.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine there would be the level of support that there is now for these kind of disclosures.
No, because the thing back then, too, was it was just all the big media machine. It was all done by the same studios that are, like, lining, like their pockets are lined by telling lies. So it was very much people were being force-fed bullshit. Like Michael Eisner, for instance, okay? When he was questioned about hiring a convicted pedophile, Victor Salva, he went on record saying that they didn't know about his past until halfway through production, and they found out, and it was merely just a one-time inappropriate touching incident that was between a adult and a consenting minor. Okay, now think about those words again. I want to put this out there for everybody listening. Consenting minor. What does that automatically paint a picture of in your mind? Because every time that we've heard those words, it's related to someone that's 17, 16, and dating somebody that's 18, 19, maybe 20, right? That's the age difference, a couple years, and one of them's almost a legal adult. Okay, so this is the picture they're painting for everyone, when in truth, it was a 29-year-old man, and I was a month away from my 12th birthday when he was arrested. And the abuse was not a one-time inappropriate touching incident. It included oral copulation, oral sodomy, the filming of all of this, and on and on and on for 6 years of my childhood. Half of my life at the time he was arrested. But yet that's what Disney was going out there to tell the public about. A one-time inappropriate touching incident between an adult and a consenting minor.
Yeah, it's total BS, and that right there shows you that the cover-up goes to the highest levels.
Absolutely.
I really don't know why it's so hard for people to grasp this stuff. I feel like it's just so obvious, like A to B to C. I don't know.
But it is once your eyes have been opened. Now, you got to understand, most of these people have had blinders on their whole lives and have been force-fed the lie over and over and over and over and over and over and over from birth. And they're taught to think that all of this that's really going on outside of the spectrum that they're allowed is not really happening. You don't look behind the curtain. Don't look behind the curtain. You don't want to see the wizard, like kind of thing. And so it's scary. It's scary to see everything that you've been taught and known your whole life come crashing down in one fell swoop, and when you realize this. And there's people, just like in the Matrix, that are willing to sell all of that out for that steak, right? Because it tastes so good, right? Well, fuck that. But,
that steak's not going to exist anymore. Like,
right.
This is ending. We finally have people who want to tackle this problem in our government. And by the way, you want to talk about the government involvement? Wow, that's well documented as well. But it is suppressed. It is suppressed knowledge, and But people are waking up.
And then they go and doing things like publicly call somebody crazy or publicly humiliate them. Because that's one way to discredit somebody really quick, is to put it in everybody's minds that they're crazy. Right, so when there's those preconceived notions you're talking about, Bobby. Right, that's all you got to do is point at somebody and say they're crazy, and then from that moment on, people, the first thing they think when they see that person is, oh, they're crazy, they're full of shit, they're crazy, they're making this all up.
Dave Chappelle said, it's dismissive. It's too easy to just say, yeah, they're crazy, and then that's it.
Yep.
That's it. At that point, everything is tainted from that moment on.
Absolutely. And then you spend the rest of your time trying to catch up and prove yourself when really you shouldn't have to, because it's so obvious.
Yeah, and that's the gaslighting, okay? That is just psychological warfare, textbooks, plain psychological warfare. They never address the allegations. They just attack the messenger.
Right.
So... But, I know all these tricks. I know their tricks.
So the thing is to make other people, or allow other people in on their tricks. Like, that's really, we got our work cut out for us, because they have been busy.
Yep.
Well, Isaac, definitely, I got to admit, let me just be honest. At first, when I first heard about you coming out, and I'm hearing, some pretty outrageous things going on, I'm just like, oh my God, I hope this isn't some crackpot or whatnot. I'm like, oh, this is going to be just something like thrown out. But honestly, I'm feeling the passion, and I'm picking up a sincere need to help, or want to help, and
I don't have a choice at this point. I was called into this fight.
Yeah, I think we all are.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I haven't really I haven't bared witness to anything. Isaac, you're seeing a lot of stuff in the middle of seeing this kind of stuff. Nathan, you've been a victim of this kind of stuff, and but for some reason we're all here right now. talking.
Yeah, great.
So there's something calling us to this, and I think it's great that we're listening. You know, no matter how tough this is, and God knows, especially with how everything's going lately, everything is extremely tough. But I don't think it matters. The other people matter. Getting people aware and helping people. You know, sometimes you got to go through some personal sacrifice to help people, and unfortunately, we're going to have to go through it.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, somebody's going to be better. Maybe we won't be the ones better for it, but a lot of other people will be. And
Well,
you know,
I have to disagree with that just a little
I
bit,
guess I
Bobby.
can die being happy about that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Well,
Like, we are better because like, I know that when I look in the mirror, I know who I'm looking at. When I go to sleep and lay my head down at night, I have a clean conscience. I know that I'm not out here doing it for any of the wrong reasons. I know why I'm doing this, and it's clear in my action, you know. And so we are getting something out of this. We get to know that we've done our part, and that's enough for me.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you know, the hero's journey is one of sacrifice, you know, and if you want to make a big change, you have to sacrifice. We could, you know, we can name off tons of people through history that, you know,
William
they
Wallace.
ultimately take their lives to make the world a better place, and that's just what it is. But if everyone is just, you know, self-absorbed and self-concerned and doesn't want to, like, step up to the plate, then nothing will ever change.
Right. Right.
So
They've
I
always
think
told
it's
us. They have always told us this. You know, that it just takes one to stand up. and,
exactly.
you know.
Yeah, exactly. And that is like that has been such a strong lesson for me because I'm one guy who's been just using my phone to connect with people, and it's like people are responding, and it's not just people that already knew about this stuff. It's people that had no idea about this stuff, and they're like, you know, well, one of the things like they're like, who else is a pedophile? I'm like, guys, I don't know who every pedophile is. All right, there's a lot of them. All right, just be aware there's a lot. You'll probably be surprised at some of the names and the volumes of them. I don't know everything. I know some things, and I'm sharing it with you. I have also done a lot of research on a lot of different things. That's one of my passions. So.
Well, Nathan, if I anything else to ask Isaac? Anything else to say?
Really, just I'm honored to be fighting by your side to make this world safer and to continue to work towards a brighter future where our children can flourish.
Thank you so much for. I want to thank you because you know you were fighting this at a much harder time, and I thank you so much for re-engaging in this debate because I think you have a powerful voice. And by the way, I would like you to make a video just of yourself, just telling about your story, and I would love to share it. I would love to share it because there's a lot of eyeballs that want to see this stuff that are like open to it. You know, these spontaneous communities are popping up all over, and just you know, the last week and a half over this. People are reaching out in droves. So many victims are reaching out to me and thanking me, and you know, I'm like, hey, you're not alone, and these people have been absorbed into groups of people who care, and like now they're getting some support. And it's really just been very heartening to watch. And like I cannot count how many times I have broken down in tears of all different emotional varieties. But it's been a powerful, powerful cathartic experience. So thank you for your bravery.
Thank you.
And thanks for having me on.
Glad to have you.
Thanks so much. Yeah, I can definitely safely say now, I am really glad I talked to you, and I'm really glad you turned out to be what I was hoping you were, and that is someone that I think is pretty damn passionate and knows exactly what he wants to do and has seen what he has seen and what he is telling, and really wants to do something good. So I'm sincerely glad now that I got to meet and talk with you.
Thank you so much for reaching out. Yeah, this week I'm just
Thanks.
trying to get out. I'm just trying to get out in front of as many people as possible, and talk about this stuff. So,
That's all we can do.
That's
That's
right.
all we can do.
Raised awareness.
All right. Well, again, Isaac, I'm sure this probably is not going to be the last time we talk to you. But again, I think
But yeah,
on
guys,
behalf. Thanks so much.
don't have. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thanks, Isaac. All right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Sorry. Bye, guys.
Take care.
Okay. Bye, Isaac.
Well, Nathan, I would say that didn't disappoint.
Right.
It didn't disappoint me
Right.
anyway.
That was an incredible interview, I got to say.
I was being serious. People came to me saying, "Hey, what do you think of Isaac Kappy? What do you
Right.
think of Isaac?" I didn't know what to think, like
Yeah.
like anybody coming around being so bold, saying all that stuff. Obviously, my mind goes to, okay, that seems a little bit too easy. Like
Right.
this guy is just coming out there saying all this outlandish stuff. Is he after something? Does he
Well,
want a name?
and again,
Or
that's
does he want a bigger name?
that's our conditioning. Which was something we talked about in the interview as well, is how
Yeah.
we have been, groomed and conditioned to, be looking out for false prophets, so to speak.
Right?
Yeah.
I have to say, no, I know he touched on, that there are people out there definitely trying to shut him up. He is not perfect. He has done some stuff. And I just appreciate the fact that no matter what anybody coming out says, they're usually pretty quick to kind of squelch the negative stuff.
Right.
I like the fact that he's right out there saying, look, this does happen, and yeah, I'm kind of screwed up myself. So
Yeah.
whatever, doesn't change the fact that this stuff happens, and it's time for it to stop.
Right. He's approaching it, a lot. He's approaching it basically very similar to how I've approached it all along too, which is, that there's no reward or gain in this that it can be put a price on, or that can be physically seen. This is the gain we get from this. Is the reward is doing the work and knowing that we are contributing to the positive flow of existence, and our progression as a species on this planet. And because it's the right thing to do. And anytime somebody does something because it's just the right thing to do, I will be on board.
And it seems like he's fully on board.
Yeah.
No matter what, let's say, worst case scenario, he's exaggerated some things or whatever. I don't believe it to be the case. I mean, it seems pretty sincere.
Yeah.
But his passion for wanting to do something seems as genuine or more genuine than certain people that I won't name.
Right.
And folks, I'm not taking the shot at so-and-so. Isaac has been pretty vocal, if you go online, about his feelings about other ex-stars that are demanding a lot of things and being disingenuous. And you just have to listen to Isaac on that. For once, you're not going to hear me say anything. So it's pretty obvious that his stance is not, just like he said, this would be a pretty ridiculous way for him to all of a sudden be quote unquote valuable. I could think of probably 3,000 or 4,000 different ways for me to try to be more relevant. This wouldn't be
Right.
my take on it. If I was
an awfully weird way to try to find work, is what he said, I think. Something
yeah,
like that, right?
it really would, because everybody and their brother knows that 15 minutes is very fleeting.
Yep.
You get that spike, you get all those people involved, you get all those media sources involved, and honestly, that works out for you in the end, about probably 1 in 1 million,
Yeah.
you just become a little blip on the radar at one point in history as being, the nut that came out and said these outlandish things and
Right.
whatnot. So, yeah, I like the fact that he kind of hit that on the head. What a stupid way for him to want to be quote unquote relevant by doing something like this.
Right. Right. Yeah. No, I don't think that's going to be very popular in the industry he was in either, for him to be doing what he's doing. So I don't see him being able to get work or being doing this for work. Considering he's accusing some of the biggest names in that industry. Um,
Right,
like
right.
they're not going to
Who's
be
going
like,
to,
oh, let's hire this guy.
yeah, especially when he's ready, willing, and able to name every single person and give details.
Right.
And yeah, who's going to hire me? I'm going to call you all out. I'm ready for work. I
Yeah.
can start on Monday.
I just don't see that
Yeah,
resume going over very well.
yeah. And he's not pushing some kind of like television series that he's starting or a
No.
movie that he's in or whatnot. It seems again just like you. It's time.
Yeah.
It's time. There's things out there that have to stop. There is a calling that you hear,
Yes. That
and
was the other thing I
he's
really
answering it.
liked what he said. With that discussion on the calling, because I don't think too many people understand that or nearly appreciate it either. You know what I mean, Bobby? They don't
Yeah,
quite know that this calling is really, truly not something that you choose. It's just something that, you have to do. With your dying breath, you have to do it.
and
So,
now he's another spoke on this wheel,
yeah,
which is going to be beneficial to everyone. Everyone.
yeah. So far, we've had like two really good, like, I mean, just phenomenal guests. So we don't have to necessarily, I don't know. I'm really pleased with Scott and with Isaac. I think those were excellent interviews so far.
Oh,
Um, very
really, really
informative.
so,
Yeah.
really so.
I can
I'd like
easily
to.
see. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to tell everyone that a couple of personal things are going on right now. Nathan, you're getting ready to move, which
Yep.
is pretty time consuming,
Yeah.
and I have a gig that is lasting me um, up until the following weekend. So I know some people have written to me, and excuse me, have written to me and want to share some stories. They want to share some things. They've reached out to detail some things, and I know that we're pretty inundated and swamped right now with a lot of things going on. But I will get to them. I'm confident Nathan's going to get to them. So
Yes.
we're hearing, we're going to get to it. I got to be honest with you, Nathan. I am so shocked that uh, we're going to put the show out
Hmm.
in 1 week. Like I was so scared. No, it's going to be 2 weeks
Right. Right.
if we're lucky. But here we are. We're
Yep.
on schedule.
Yep.
That's amazing for me, Nathan. I haven't known you that long, but for me, that's amazing.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. I mean,
Yeah, I
it's
show
tough
up
to,
on time for the record. I'm a punctual person,
Yeah.
but this kind of thing, yeah, Bobby, when's your next video coming out? Oh, probably any day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't take that to the bank.
Right.
But I'm really impressed. We've got this out in a week, and especially with everything going on with us right now, um, that was. I'm gonna pat us on the back. I'm
All right.
patting us on the
All
back,
right.
everyone. Sorry.
From coast to coast, pat on the back.
So this just means we're going to be doing hopefully more than one a week. That'd be great. I'm looking forward. I want to say too that I definitely understand there are probably some audio glitches in that
Yeah.
people are going to hear, and yeah, for some reason it appears I even have gone back and listened to some clips of Isaac. I guess there's something wrong with the
Yeah.
connection, and uh, we're working those out. But I think it just we're trying to do the interviews through either Messenger or Skype, and they're just going to keep getting better and better. So we want to just preemptively say sorry if it starts to just kind of
Yeah.
roll in and out. The equipment is fine. we're just everybody just seems to be having some connection issues. So just
Yeah,
wanted to
bear
throw
with
that out
us.
there too. We know.
Yeah,
We know.
yeah.
But Nathan, as always, I'm excited, really excited now to see what happens moving forward with Isaac, and of
With
course, what's going to be happen
Monster
with more
Hunters.
Monster
Hunters.
Hunters. When's the song coming out? When are you writing the Monster Hunter song? By the way.
That's a good question. I'll get actually. I will get to work on that soon. That just inspired
Okay,
me.
everybody knows that parodies, and musical theater is my genre, so I'm out. I'm out. I'll
Okay,
loan a hand
that's
if you want it.
yeah. Always,
But yeah,
always accepted.
but I think yeah, Monster Hunters has to be a theme song.
Absolutely.
I'm thinking along the. I don't know why Scooby Doo comes to mind, but it's a work in progress. I'm sorry. So I just want to jump in there now and say what everybody doesn't know, and that is Nathan and I have been disconnected about 12 times just trying to record this. So, yeah, we're having some issues, but they will all be worked out. Just like the scum on the street is going to be
Yes,
exposed, we are going to work out
absolutely.
technical issues. So, that's a promise.
So next time, yeah,
So, Nathan, again, excited,
yeah. I'm
excited,
I'm
and
confident
excited.
that we're going to continue this mission together, and that it's only gonna grow. And that's one thing I think we can count on is it's gonna grow.
Yeah, that's right. So, folks, keep tuning in,
Yeah.
keep sharing, keep subscribing,
Contact
keep
info's down
liking,
there.
keep
Yep.
commenting. It's hasn't changed. Get in touch with us. We're going to be getting back to everyone. We're going to be putting different types of shows together. So please keep it coming, keep growing.